you can't be surprised when you start a Monday with a whole bunch of weekend crime stories, because unfortunately we live in a state in which the Democrats, via policy changes, via strategies that have been adopted both at the Olympia level all the way down to the county and city level, when they come up with policies and initiatives and strategies that essentially say the bad guy is now going to be seen as the victim, victims don't matter whatsoever, you have to expect that this is the kind of weekend that we're going to get rather regularly. Now, in some instances, it's just crime. Crime happens. That's an unfortunate truth. But other times you can clearly point fingers in the direction of lawmakers and specific policies that have emboldened criminals to the point where they think they can get away with just about anything, because for the most part, they kind of can get away with just about anything. In Seattle, SPD is investigating a second double stabbing in the city over the weekend. So 2 double stabbings. That's a quadruple. Is that a quadruple?
4?
I think it's 4 total stabbings, but done twice, 2 times each. Am I doing the math correct? 2 divided by pi times 0. Yeah, I think that's how it is. A quadruple stabbing. The stabbing happened 7:30 last night during a private event at a nightclub in Pioneer Square, which is a place you never hear stories about violence, especially the nightclubs in Pioneer Square. Definitely not. Now, ironically, or maybe not, it's the same time police were called to the scene. Like, it happened almost immediately, the call. Como TV says witnesses said the victims got into some sort of altercation with the suspect shortly before the stabbings. Now, we know that there are 2 victims, a 30-year-old man and a 26-year-old man. They left the scene. They drove themselves to the hospital. I don't know. I feel like if I were stabbed, I'd wait. Well, no, insurance is not going to cover it the same way. I suppose if I could drive myself, I'd drive myself. Do Ubers have to take you to the hospital? Is there like an ethical consideration? Right? Like, on the one hand, I should do what I can to help save you and get you to a doctor so that you don't bleed out and die. On the other hand, I don't want you bleeding in my car. How are we going to get that out? And by the way, if you were to die in my car, is it kind of like when you die in an apartment or a home, you have to disclose it after a certain number of years if you're reselling? Do you have to do that with cars?
I would think there'd be some sort of expectation that you would.
I don't know. I never even thought about that until now. What if someone's driving around in a used car right now, someone died in, and you weren't even told? Shouldn't you know? Maybe that's why you're getting that weird sound, and you're always cold when you get in the car.
A lot of used cars smell like someone died in them.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So both are reported to be in stable condition. The new executive director of the CID Business Improvement Area, Tuyen Thon, spoke with King 5.
Violence, stabbings, things like that. There's so much more to this neighborhood than just all that. Violence.
Well, that's an awful big part of the neighborhood, unfortunately. It is. That is an unfortunate reality where you have a neighborhood, or really neighborhoods, that are being defined by this kind of violence. It's precisely why so many activists, neighborhood advocates are going on TV and screaming for help. It's not their fault. They don't want this to happen, but that is the reality. Again, because of policies driven by ideology that have created a culture of lawlessness where people think that it's okay to settle some sort of score by stabbing or shooting someone who supposedly wronged you.
And bloodshed is the last thing we want. We can't fix it overnight. It's something that will involve everyone on all the levels.
I'm just real quick, I'll let her finish, but it's been more than overnight. It's been, I mean, for the International District, the Central District, Belltown, downtown, Pioneer, it's been a good amount of time.
Why do you gotta be such a stickler?
I like the details.
In every department, from a community ground level to the city department level.
You know, or how about this? Just get more cops to do their jobs effectively. Allow them to do their jobs effectively. Stop releasing bad guys on their own personal recognizance. I know that there is this push against bail bonds agents because they're evil and greedy. They're taking advantage of people who are at their lowest. What are you talking about? I cannot stand those people who make claims like that. And I'm not just saying that because I'm giving a speech on Thursday to a bunch of bail bonds people. I've actually learned quite a lot from them in talking with folks. And one thing that I've come to really appreciate about what it is they do is that they actually connect people with family members who are going to try to keep them on the right path. And that's an interesting point that I never really thought about until I spoke to them. In that oftentimes if someone is having to put up a substantial amount of money for bail, 10% of whatever it is the bail is, who do you go to, especially if you're younger? Go to mom and dad. You go to mom and dad. So all of a sudden, now, if you don't participate in the criminal justice system and show back up to court when you need to, you didn't just hurt yourself and your future more so than you already have, but you're doing that to your parent who may now lose a house because of a decision you made. And that connects them together. That's one of the things I've learned. So not only do I get paid to speak, which is always great, but you learn something that you can take back to the radio and then use it here. Now, of course, this was not the only crime. We had in Federal Way, 2 men died in what police said were unrelated shootings Saturday. First one happened a little after 4. Police responded to a call on Saturday that a man had been shot. Cops get there. They see a 20-year-old man in a parking lot with a gunshot wound. They tried to save him, but he died at the scene. Now, scary part is no suspects have been identified. Then a few hours later, around 11 o'clock at night, Federal Way PD respond to a separate shooting about a mile away. Officers get there. They find a 34-year-old man with a gunshot wound. Again, they tried to save him, but were unsuccessful. In that case, there's a person of interest that the police are actively searching for, but they don't think that it's a threat to the public, which generally means this was either a targeted issue or something that came out of, again, some sort of altercation. Now, the first one, I saw a video that was posted, and it shows the 20-year-old victim. I don't know if he was dead at the point of the video, but on the ground, the guy who seemed to be the key suspect ends up firing kind of at random into a crowd that stopped to see what had happened before running away. Thankfully, no one was injured. But again, I'm going to guess that in both of these cases, particularly the first one, that the suspect is probably a younger male who maybe has been getting the impression from Democrats across the state that they've got a friend in Democratic lawmakers who view these kinds of crimes as not all that serious. Sure, someone died, but you're a victim of an unjust society that's racist or sexist or transphobic or whatever it is you want to claim, in a society that just doesn't give you a fair shot, kind of forced your hand into murdering someone. When you think about it,
You had no choice.
you couldn't. Who, if we were in that position, which we would never be because of our white privilege, we would have to do the same thing. Okay, that's an interesting way to look at it. By interesting, I mean you're absolutely insane, and it's a position that no normal person holds, which is perhaps why Democrats right now as a brand could be doing a little bit better. Could be doing just a little bit better. Finally, I'm not going to put this on Democrats in Olympia. I'll try to find a way to put it on a Democrat, but not in Olympia. An inmate was being transported at SeaTac and ended up escaping custody yesterday morning around 11 o'clock. 28-year-old Cedric Stevenson escaped custody, according to Cairo 7 TV, ran to the light rail station. Just as an FYI, these are the people that you're taking light rail with, unbeknownst to you.
Did he pay at least?
I sincerely doubt it. Something tells me that fair enforcement wasn't actually occurring, even though there's a bunch of signs everywhere that says, "We enforce fares." He boarded a train heading north and was last seen getting off at the Capitol Hill station. His people. I mean, if you're ever going to go to a neighborhood that will protect you for being a bad guy, I would probably pick Capitol Hill. He's not been caught. Now, they say a contracted agent was attempting to transport him, and while at SeaTac's ticket counter, they lost control of him and he ran towards the train station. Now, he's got multiple warrants from Bowling Green, Kentucky, according to the Port of Seattle. He's 5'8" with dreadlocks. There's photos available over at mynorthwest.com and elsewhere. How do they not put him in handcuffs?
Well, I think he was, though, wasn't he?
I don't think so, because I'm looking at photos of him with both of his hands in his pockets.
Oh, I was under the impression he was.
I thought that originally as well, because he's obviously in handcuffs while in the patrol vehicle. But in the images, maybe he's double jointed. And you know how some people can like dislodge their thumb? You think that's maybe what he did?
But even so, you'd think his ankles would be shackled, so.
Well, no, you can't do that anymore.
Oh.
I think that's race. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's something bad. It's demeaning to the bad guys. And we can't demean bad guys anymore. I thought one of the perks of being a good guy was you get to demean the bad guys. But apparently you can't do that. Now, he was in the custody of Prisoner Transport Services, which is this private transport company contracted by the Warren County, Kentucky Sheriff's Office. Here's Sheriff Brett Hightower. That's a sheriff's name.
We're hopeful and thankful for the folks in Seattle, their law enforcement out there, that we hope that it will come to a safe apprehension of him and he will be brought back to the Commonwealth.
Here's Bowling Green police officer Ronnie Ward.
Assault, third-degree police officer, possession of controlled substance, trafficking in marijuana less than 8 ounces,
like
resisting arrest, criminal mischief, and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon.
I mean, other than that, really good guy. Other than all the things he just listed. Very nice person. Great taste in film. I don't know if you knew this about him. Film snob. You know all those movies, they get nominated for things that no one has ever heard of? He's seen them.
Oh, okay.
I think he stole the screener links and then sold them on the... I'm kidding, of course. He's just a bad guy. He's just a bad guy. Here's a commuter speaking with Cairo 7 TV.
I mean, that's kind of crazy that they got away from Seattle airport security.
Well, in fairness, he didn't get away from Port of Seattle security or TSA agents. In fairness, just I think 2 agents with this private transport company. Can we maybe make sure they don't get any other clients? Or if they do, let's not allow them to fly through Seattle. Go Portland, go there. I know you can't always get a direct flight to Bowling Green, Kentucky. I don't know if it originated here or this was the stop. I don't know, but go through Portland. Or better yet, go through like Boise. Good luck trying to escape in Idaho or Montana. Go there because you'll get all of the normal people, the normies out there looking for you. And they're armed. They're armed.